के कष्ट हरता है तो तेरा महान तेज है। छाया हुआ सभी स्थान सृष्टि की वास्तु वास्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान। तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते तेरी दया। ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। Join the palms together, rub them slowly, gently, cover the eyes, open the eyes below the palms, and transfer the energy to the facial muscles. Keep a gentle smile with the muscles relaxed. Gayatri mantra in the form of bhajan. तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, that is who giver of life. पालन कर रहा है तो तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम, दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तो. So that is भू and भुवा. दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तो, that is liberator from pains and sorrows. तेरा महान तेज है, छाया हुआ सभी स्थान सृष्टि की वस्तु वस्तु में तो हो रहा है विद्यमान. That is about the next part. Savita is the creator of the universe and the omnipresence of God. And then the last part is Tera hi dharte dhyan ham, that is dhyoyo naha prachodayat. Surrendering ourselves to the divine guidance of Ishvara. As in yoga philosophy, it's Ishwar Pranidhan. Surrendering ourselves to the divine guidance, the inner voice within us, will be able to move our intellect into righteous thoughts and righteous actions. Atheshwara Stuti Prathnopasna Mantra. Stuti, praise, Pratna, prayer, and Upasana, meditation, communion. Stuti, praise, praising the virtues, the divine qualities of Ishvara God, to be able to sprout the divinity within us and in turn be virtuous. Pratna, prayers to be done after putting 100% mental and physical efforts to realize our goals. And Upasana, communion, self-realization, realization of the soul within the body, the soul as one entity and the body as the second entity. And then to be able to link the soul with Ishvara God. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasva Yad Bhadram Tanna Asva. This mantra, praying to Ishvara, that inspires us to be able to remove all our ills and evils and therein feel all what is good and beneficial. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagre Bhutasya Jatah Patirekāsit Sadādhāra Prithivim Dyamute Tasmai Devaya Vishavidhema. Om Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Deva Yasya Chayam Ritam Yasya Mrityu Kasmai Devaya Vishavidema. Atmada Balada, Ishvara, giver of the physical and mental spiritual force. Giver the physical force by creating all that we need for the nourishment of this body from the 5 elements of this universe, and spiritual force by the divine guidance. Om Yah Pranato Nimishato Mahitvaika Idra Jagato Babhuva Ya Ishe Yasya Dvipadashchatushpada Kasmai Devaya Vishavidhema. Om Ye Nadyorugra Prithivi Chadrida Yena Swasta Bhitam Yena Naka Yo Antarikshe Rajaso Vimana Tasmai Devaya Vishavidhema. Ye Nadyo Rugra Prithvi. Ishvara as the creator, sustainer of this whole universe, the earth and all the other planets and constellations around us. Following the divine guidance of Ishvara, will be able to go into moksha, amritaman shanas tritiye. And in moksha will be in the same state as birds flying freely in the sky, will be moving freely all around the universe on the energy, on the force of Ishvara God. And this is the place where we'll enjoy the bliss of Ishvara, the eternal bliss, no slightest trace of pains and sufferings. Om Prajapate Natvadetanyanyo Vishvajatani Parita Babhuva Yatkamaste Jo Mastanno Astu Vayam Syama Patayorainam. Prajapati, the ruler of all living and non-living beings in this universe. The Vedas itself tells Vayam Syama Patayorainam, be masters of both material and spiritual treasures, and which is poles apart from what we tend to believe that the Ved mantras are only for prayers. No, it's for realization of both material and spiritual treasures in life. Om Sano Bandhurjanita Savidhata Dhamani Veda Bhuvanani Vishwa Yatra Deva Amrita Manashana Sritiye Dhaman Adye Rayanta. ॐ अग्नेन यसुपथारायेऽस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जोहोरानमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन उक्तिं विधेम. And this mantra repeats the prayer of the first mantra, Vishwani Deva. It says, Kutlita Pap Yuk Karmo se hame dur kijiye. So that is taking the taking the divine inspiration. Om Yerji, just please mute your mic. Do us a favor. And this mantra says we'll be running on the divine guidance of Ishwar God, and then be surrounded by both elderly and knowledgeable persons to guide us in our life. And with that guidance, we'll be able to reach our goals of dharma, righteous living, artha, righteous earnings, kama, righteous enjoyment, and ultimately reach moksha, mukti. Atheshwara stuti prarthanopasna prakaranam. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay. Now we'll be moving for Archman. Please take water in the right palm. 3 mantras, and after sipping mantra, the water at the end of the mantra, then take water for the second mantra. First mantra. Om Amritopastaranamasi Svaha. Second mantra. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Svaha. Third time. Om Satyam Yasha Shrirmai Shri Shayatam Svaha. Wash your hands. And then take water in the left palm for Ang-Sparsh, touching of the various parts of the body, praying to Ishwar God that the divine guidance inspires our soul, and the soul driving the mind, and the mind in turn driving all the other sense organs to be righteous in whatever we do, to be pure as water, to be as calm as water, and to be in union as when we mix water from 2 different vessels. And to be transforming as water also, so that once we move on righteous living, we never go back to the old habits. So whatever action has to be done, it's always at the end of the mantra. Om Bhangamasyastu, Om Nasurme Pranostu, Om Akshanorme Chakrastu, Om Karnayorme Shrotramastu, Om Baurme Balamastu, Om Urvorma Ojostu, Om Marishtani Mangani Tanustanva Me Sasanto. Now, lighting of the lamp to proceed with Agni Adhan. So, lighting of the lamp at the end of this short mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Now, with the next mantra, use the camphor in the spoon in the sruva to light, to introduce the fire into the Havan Kund. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Dyoriva Bhumna Prithiviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Devaya Jani Prishthe Agni Mannada Mannadyaya Dade. Agni Samindhan mantra. Usually, when we were introducing the fire from the fire in our kitchen into the oven kun, we used to fan the fire. But now, since we are using camphor, so we please add 2 spoonfuls of ghee in the samidhas just to get the fire blazing. Om Udbudya Swagni Pratijagrihi Tvamishta Purte Sansrije Thamayancha Asmin Sadhaste Adyutarasmin Vishve Deva Yajamanascha Sidata. Samidhadan, 3 pieces of wood stick to be offered to the fire dipped into ghee, and the first samidha with this mantra. Om Mayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nidya Swavardha Swachedda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Sva Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Second Samidha, we have 2 mantras here. It will be on the second Swaha. Om Samidhagnim Duvasyata Gritervordayadaatithim Asmin Havya Jotana Svai Dhammagnaidan Namama. Om Susamidhaya Shotishe Gritam Tivram Jotana Agnaye Jata Vedase Sva Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Third Samidha. Om Tantva Samidbhirangiro Gritena Vardhayamasi Priyachochaya Vishtaya Sva Idam Magningirase Idam Namama. Panchagrit Ahuti, offering of ghee 5 times with the same mantra to get the fire blazing, because after that will be the ahutis of both ghee and samagri. And in this mantra, coincidentally, we are praying to Ishwar God for 5 things. Prajaya, children and grandchildren, be dutiful, be obedient, and be respectful to the guidance of the parents and the elderly. Pashubhir, the pets that we have, the domestic animals, they be peaceful to us, bring us peace, bring us joy. Brahma Varchas, the knowledge of the Vedas and the knowledge God has given in terms of the physical sciences and social sciences in the universe. Whatever we learn from this universe, all these be peaceful to us. And we'll always we have plenty of healthy, nutritious food, health promoting food. Samedhaya, so we'll make efficient and effective use of the 4 previous things to be able to move in life with sukh, happiness, shanti, peace, and samriddhi, prosperity. Om Mayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nidya Swavardha Swachedda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhirma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Sva Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Om Mayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nedya Swavardha Swachedda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Sva Idam Agnaye Jata Vedaste Idam Namama. Om Ayanta Idmatma Jata Vedaste Nidya Swavardha Swachedda Vardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Sva Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Om Ayantaimatma Jata Vedaste Nedya Swavardha Swachedda Vardaya Chasman Prajaya Pashuvirma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Svaha Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama Om Ayantaimatma Jata Vedaste Nedya Swavardha Swachedda Vardaya Tasman Prajaya Pashuvirma Varchase Namnadyena Samedhaya Svaha Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama Jal Sechanam. Sprinkling of water around the Havan Kund, the first one, Purva Disha in the east. Om Adite Numanyasva. Second, Pashchim Disha in the west. Om Anumate Numanyasva. Uttar north. Om Saraswatyanumanyasva. Fourth mantra would be all around the Havan Kund, starting from northeast clockwise and ending on the northeast, always at the end of the mantra. Om Deva Savita Prasvayadyam Prasvayadypatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharva Ketapu Ketanna Punatu Vachaspatirvachanna Swadatu. Ahutis of ghee, Aghara Vajya Ahuti, the first one in the north, from northwest to northeast, second one in the south, from southwest to southeast, always moving to the east, direction of light, which is the direction of sunrise in the early morning, and also this sunlight enables us to get the light of knowledge, so it's moving towards the physical light and the light of knowledge. North. Om Agnaye Svaha. Idam Agnaye Dan Namama. South. Om Somaya Svaha. Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Center. Om Prajapataye Svaha. Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Om Indraya Svaha. Idam Indraya Idam Namama. Now, ahutis of both ghee and samagri with the Pratakalin mantras for the morning. Suryo Jyoti, Surya is sun and sunlight in the morning. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyoti Surya Svaha. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajurusha Sendravatya Jushana Suryaveto Svaha. Now ahutis for the evening, Agnira Jyoti. Om Agnira Jyotir Jyotiragni Svaha. Om Agnira Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuratrandраvatya Jushano Agniravetu Svaha. Now, ahutis for both morning and evening. Remember, the first one says Bhuragnaye Pranaya Svaha. Second one, Bhuvarvaive Panaya Svaha. And third one says Swaradityaya Vyanaya Svaha. These are referring to prana, pan, and vyan. Breathe in, breathe out, and the life force, the breath, which sends oxygen and nutrients to all places of the body. So regulating those free life forces is by always chanting the mantra, especially take a deep breath with Om and Swaha And if you can chant the whole mantra in one breath, that's better. Both ghee and samagri. Om bhuragnaye pranaya swaha. Idam agnaye pranaya idam namama. Om bhuvarvaive panaya swaha. Idam vaive panaya idam namama. Om swaradityaya vyanaya swaha. Idam adityaya vyanaya idam namama. Om bhurvasvaragnivaivaditevya pranapanavyanabhya swaha. Idam agnivaivaditevya pranapanavyanabhya idam namama. The next mantra is called Atmonnati mantra. Apo Jyoti Rasomritam. Apa refers to water, but also refers to Ishvara God as the omnipresent, just as water vapor, omnipresent in this atmosphere, in our atmosphere. So Apa is there. Apa Jyoti Rasomritam. So the divine within us guides us to reach that Amritam, that moksha, mukti. And this is the uplifting of the soul, Atma. Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Brahmavurbhuva Swarom Swaha. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Tayama Madhyame Dhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasava Yad Bhadram Tannasva Swaha. Om Agnena Yasupatara Yasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmajjora Nameno Bhuishthamte Namoktim Vidhema Swaha. Now some special mantras praying to Ishvara God for peace, progress, and prosperity. Mantras from Yajurveda 36th chapter. Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Indro Vishwasya Rajati Shanno Astu Dvipade Shanchatushpade Swaha. Om Shanno Mitra Shanvaruna Shanno Bhavatvariyyama Shanna Indragni Brihaspati Shanno Vishnu Rurukrama Swaha. Om Shanno Devi Rabhishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Shanyorabhisravantu Nah Swaha. Om Dyav Shantirantariksam Shanti Prithvi Shantirapah Shantiroshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shantir Vishvedeva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi Swaha. Om Drite Drinama Mitrasyama Chakshusha Sarvani Bhutani Samikshantam Mitrasyaham Chakshusha Sarvani Bhutani Samikshe Mitrasya Chakshusha Samiksha Maheswa. Om Sumitrayana Paushadaya Santo Durmitrayastasmai Santo Yosman Dvaishtiyam Chavayam Dvishma Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Dhananjay ji, can Yash come near the mic and I'll give him to chant Gayatri Mantra 3 times and Trayambakam Yajamahi 3 times. Let the kids participate in that by chanting the mantra.
Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat.
Swaha.
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmi Vandanan Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmi Vandanan Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmiv Vandanan Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat.
Swaha. Now, Swishtakrit Ahuti, if you have prasad, that's fine. Otherwise, only ghee. Om Yadasya Karmanotyaricham Yadjvanyoन्मिहाकरम् Agnishta Shrishtakrit Vidyat Sarvam Swishtam Suhutam Karotu Me Agnaye Shrishtakrite Suhutahute Sarvaprayashchita Hutinam Kamanam Samardetre Sarvanah Kaman Samardhya Svaha Idam Agnaye Shrishtakrite Idam Namama Om Svaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Now Purnahuti. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Svaha. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Svaha. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Svaha. Put everything down, join the palms together, close the eyes gently, in communion with God. The three mantras, Mahavam Devevan from the Samved, praying for Sukha, happiness, Shanti, peace, and Samriddhi, prosperity. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Kayanashchitra bhuvadoti sada vridha sakha kayashachishtaya vrita Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Kastva Satyo Madanam Manghishto Matsudandhasa Dridachidaruje Vasu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Abhishona Sakhinam Avita Charitranam Shatam Bhavasyutaye Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. Dhananjay ji, Yajya Prarthana, please.
पूजनीय प्रभो हमारे भाव
Not able to listen to you.
पूजनीय प्रभो हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए, छोड़ दे में छल कपट को, मानसिक बल दीजिए। वेद की बोले ऋचाएं, सत्य को धारण करें। हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे, शोक सागर से तरे। नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहें। रोग पीड़ित विश्व के, संताप सब हरते रहें। भावना मिट जाए मन से, पाप अत्याचार की, कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे। यज्ञ से नर नार की, कारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए। वायु जल सर्वत्र हो, शुभ गंध को धारण किए। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा, प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो। इदं न मम का सार्थक, प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। प्रेम रस में मग्न होकर, वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा, आपकी सब पर रहे। पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे, भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए। छोड़ दे में छल कपट को, मानसिक बल दीजिए। प्रभु आत्मिक बल दीजिए। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सबका भला करो भगवान, सब पर दया करो दयावान। सब पर कृपा करो हे महान, सबका सब विधि हो कल्याण। हे ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। सब भद्र भाव देखें, सन्मार्ग के पथिक हों। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। हे नाथ सब सुखी हों, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
Moving now to the blessings, Ashirvad. Join the palms together, close the eyes gently. Feel the grace of Ishvara flowing all around, and just tell yourselves, we have to be the proper recipient of the grace of Ishvara God, not stand like a bucket which doesn't have the bottom part, or stand like a colander strainer. You have to be the appropriate recipient so that the grace doesn't flow away from us. Om Satya Santo Yajamanasya Kama. Om Purna Santo Yajamanasya Kama. Om Safala Santo Yajamanasya Kama. May the wishes of the Yajman be truthful, the truthful wishes of the Yajman be accomplished, and the truthful wishes of the Yajman be accomplished with 100% success. Om Swasti na Indro Vridharshava Swasti na Posha Vishvaveda Swasti nastaksharyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Bhadram Karnevi Shnuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshavirya Jatra Sthirairangeshtoshtvang Sastanurvirvyashemahi Devahitam Yadayu. Om Swasti Swasti Swasti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So it's time now for bhajan. Volunteers, please. Pandita ji, I think Yashji has left us. So let's take that bhajan of Gayatri Mantra, the 4 lines, by the time if Pandita ji gets the book for bhajan. प्राण प्रदाता संकट त्राता प्राण प्रदाता संकट त्राता हे सुखदाता ओम ओम हे सुखदाता ओम ओम सविता माता पिता वरेण्यं सविता माता पिता वरेण्यं भगवन् भ्राता ओम ओम भगवन् भ्राता ओम ओम तेरा शुद्ध स्वरूप धरे हम तेरा शुद्ध स्वरूप धरे हम धारण धाता ओम ओम धारण धाता ओम ओम प्रज्ञा प्रेरित कर सुकर्म में प्रज्ञा प्रेरित कर सुकर्म में विश्व विधाता ओम ओम विश्व विधाता ओम 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 आनंद ओम आनंद ओम आनंद ओम 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 आनंद ओम 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 आनंद ओम ओम. Pandita ji, bhajan please.
Namaste everyone. Seems as if Acharya liked to hear my horsey voice. Om हुआ ध्यान में ईश्वर के जो मगन उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। जब ज्ञान की गंगा में नहाया तो मन में मैल जरा न रहा। हुआ ध्यान में ईश्वर के जो मगन उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। परमात्मा को जब आत्मा ने लिया देख ज्ञान की आंखों से, प्रकाश हुआ मन में उसके, कोई उससे भेद छिपा न रहा। हुआ ध्यान में ईश्वर के जो मगन उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। पुरुषार्थ ही इस दुनिया में हर कामन पूरी करता है। मन चाहा फल उसने पाया, जो आलसी बन के परा न रहा। हुआ ध्यान में ईश्वर के जो मगन उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। यह बड़े बड़े महाराज हुए, विद्वान हुए, बलवान हुए, पर मौत के फंजे से कोई दुनिया में आके बचा न रहा। हुआ ध्यान में ईश्वर के जो मगन उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। जब ज्ञान की गंगा में नहाया तो मन में मैल जरा न रहा। उसे कोई क्लेश लगा न रहा। Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Pandita Ji. I'll take another short bhajan and then give the floor to Dhananjay Ji for the welcome and intro. सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। अविरोध रहें ऋजु पंथ गए, अविरोध रहें ऋजु पंथ गए। परिवार कहें वसुधा भर को, परिवार कहें वसुधा भर को। सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। ध्रुव धर्म धरें पर दुख हरें, ध्रुव धर्म धरें पर दुख हरें। तन त्याग तरें भव सागर को, तन त्याग तरें भव सागर को। सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। दिन फेर पितावर दे सविता, दिन फेर पितावर दे सविता, हम आर्य करें जगती भर को, हम आर्य करें जगती भर को, सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को, बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को। धनंजय जी प्लीज। यस वंदना जी।
आचार्य जी आज एक भजन हम भी गाएंगे।
या दैट्स गुड, एक्सीलेंट।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना, हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना, इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना, दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे, हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम, जितनी भी दे भली जिंदगी दे, बैर होना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले की होना, हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना, हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण, फूल खुशियों के बाटे सभी को, सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन, अपनी करुणा का जल तू बहा के, कर दे पावन हर एक मन का कोना, हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना, इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
Hello. Hello everyone. Namaste. Thank you for joining today for our weekly satsang. We are grateful to have Dr. Chandora ji with us. Yes, ji is with us. And Pandita ji, yes, ji has left already, but she was here with us. Today is the very auspicious day when Sri Ram Prasad Bismil ji, our great freedom fighter, was hanged by the British government. He has spent all of his life for the country, for the freedom of the country. काकोरी कांड के नायक, भारतीय स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन के क्रांतिकारी धारा के प्रमुख सेनानी श्री बिस्मिल जी एक कवि, बहुभाषी इतिहासकार व साहित्यकार थे। वीर भूमि शाहजहांपुर में जन्म लेकर ब्रह्मचर्य का नैष्ठिक पालन करते हुए आपका संपर्क आर्य समाज के मुंशी इंद्रजीत जी से हुआ और महर्षि दयानंद जी द्वारा लिखित पुस्तक सत्यार्थ प्रकाश के अध्ययन करने की प्रेरणा मिली, जिसका उनके जीवन पर बहुत गहरा प्रभाव पड़ा। शाहजहांपुर आर्य समाज भवन में स्वामी सोमदेव जी का आगमन हुआ और उनकी सत्संगति के कारण वे क्रांतिकारी बने। अन्यायकारी, अत्याचारी ब्रिटिश सरकार ने पंडित राम प्रसाद बिस्मिल को 30 वर्ष की आयु में फांसी दे दी। हम पंडित राम प्रकाश बिस्मिल जी के प्रति श्रद्धा भाव व्यक्त करते हैं और उनका नमन करते हैं। परमपिता परमात्मा की असीम अनुकंपा से आज हम लोग सत्संग में शामिल हुए। हम लोग प्रभु का वंदन किए, नमन किए और हम लोग बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि हम लोग आज यज्ञ में सम्मिलित हुए। आचार्य जी मॉरिशस से जुड़े हुए हैं और वो हम लोग का हमेशा पथ प्रदर्शन करते रहते हैं। He guides us every week. He is the inspiration for all of us also for his commitment for the Vedic values. We thank Acharya Ji for his continuous services to us. We thank Pandita Ji also and our mentor and founder, Dr. Deenbandhu Chandora Ji. हम आचार्य जी से अब विनती करेंगे कि वो अपना आज का सरमन दें और after that we will listen a very beautiful bhajan before the aarti written by Pandit Ram Prasad Bismil ji.
Om Namaste everybody. Let's sit down straight, close the eyes gently, bring our mind to focus by one Om Jap. Deep inhale and while exhaling, we'll chant Om Sarvavyapak Sarvajya Nyayakari Dayalu Ishwar ka Mukhya Nijnam, the main name of the omnipresent, omniscient, all just and all merciful Ishwar. Slowly, gently open the eyes, keep the mind to focus. Welcome everybody. And we are reaching now the end of year 2020. Today's Yaj, we had a few mantras from Yajurved 36th chapter. One way we can say is being thankful to God for all that He has graced us with, and especially in these dire times, science has come with the vaccine for the pandemic. Gayatri mantra is prayer for the enlightened mind and the enlightened mind to go on the path of true knowledge. And on the path of true knowledge, we'll be able to use our intellect, or the faculty of the mind, the discriminating faculty of the mind, to make the difference between truth and what is not true, especially in the world of today, with so many unfounded news that are just being shared without people just using their logic or try to look into whether it's real or fake. So that's something which we need to pay attention to. Then another mantra which we sang was Shanno Mitraha Shanvarunaha. That was also prayer seeking the grace of Ishvara as Mitraha, the everlasting friend with us, not only during this lifetime, but in the previous lives that we had and the future lives that we have. In this present life, when we depart this earth, we leave everybody here and we leave everything here. And anybody departing this world within our midst will also be like this, going alone. Even the body is left here. The soul is the traveler. And the body is just a medium, a vehicle for the soul to travel. Then Shan Varunaha, Ishvara's the omnipresent Varun and giver of bliss. Shanno Bhavatvariyama, as the all just, but also inspiring us to be Shanna Indro. Ishwar as Indra is Aishwaryon ko dene wale, leading us to be masters of spiritual and material treasures. Shanno Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the greatest, the supreme being, non-equal or superior to Ishvara. Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha. Vishnu again, Sarva Vyapak, omnipresent, present everywhere and at all times. And the grace of Ishvara flowing around us. It's only we have to become the proper or the true recipient of that grace. Then Shanno Devi Rabhishtaya, Apo Bhavantu Pitaye. Devi with the divine, noble, gracious qualities of Ishvara God. Apa, again omnipresent, just as I said previously, like water vapor is present everywhere in our atmosphere. God also is omnipresent likewise everywhere in this world. Then what do we seek? Pitaye. Abhishtaya and Pitaye. Abhish is worldly treasures, wealth, worldly knowledge, etc. But Pitaya is the spiritual sciences and the path to be really spiritual in our life. Then there was the Shanti part, pledging to Ishvara God that will be peaceful towards each and every element of this universe. And in return, those elements of the universe, Yo, the luminous bodies, Antariksha, the space, Prithvi, the earth, Apa, the waters, Oshadhaya, the annual and medicinal plants, Vanaspataya, the vegetation, Vishwadeva, elderly and knowledgeable persons, Brahma, Ishvara God as the eternal, omnipresent, omniscient, all knowledgeable and giver of knowledge, giver of bliss. All these be peaceful to us. But then we have a duty to start being peaceful, one with ourselves, with our immediate surroundings, and with the world at large. And when we say with the world at large, it's not only mankind, but all the other forms of life, as well as non-living beings. Then one mantra was there, Sumitrayana apa ushadhaya santu durmitrayas tasmai santu yosman dveshtiyam chavayam dvishmaha. This mantra is also being used by people at the time of having their medicines. Apa oshadhaya. So let the medicinal plants or the medicine that we are taking infiltrate our body just like water vapor is everywhere in this world, in this atmosphere. the medicine also goes through our whole body and do us well. Durmitrayas tasmai santu. Remove our pains, our sufferings, our bodily ailments, whether physical or mental. Yosmam dveshtiyam savayam dushmaha. So that medicine is for our welfare, and we should be taking the medicine in a friendly way so that it goes into us and be friendly to us. That is very essential. I took this like this today, just one way of paying gratitude to God for the knowledge He's given to us and for the scientists who've used that knowledge, the physical sciences of the universe, to develop the vaccine and to come for the welfare of mankind. Unfortunately, 2020 has been a very distressed period for the whole of mankind. And as such, let's look into how the Vedic philosophy can guide us to be, in one way, managing ourselves and live a better life. The Charak Samhita, which is the authority in Ayurveda, says, Sharira Indriya Sarvatma Sanyogo. Sharir, Indriya, Atma, Sattva, Atma, Sanyogo. What is Ayu? Ayurveda, the knowledge of wellness. It leads us to create harmony between Sharir, the physical body, Indriya, the sense organs, the five senses of perception, taste, smell, sight, hearing, and touch, and the organs of action, the feet, the hands, the tongue for taste, for talking, and the excretory organs and the reproductory organs. All of these should be in harmony with what? With the mind and the soul, as we say, the harmony between mind, body, and spirit. That is the definition of Sharir wellness in the Charak Samhita. When we create that harmony, we are able to bring harmony between Sharir, body, Indriya, the sense organs, Sattva, that is the mind, and Atma, the soul, the spirit. And harmonizing that is the knowledge that we need to create that. And we pray in the mantra, Tachakshurdeva hitam pashyema sharadaha shatam jivema sharadaha shatam shinuyama sharadaha shatam prabravama sharadaha shatam adinansyama sharadaha shatam bhuyasta sharadaha shatam. Praying for 100 years and more of healthy living, to be able to see with the eyes, listen with the ears, and all the other body parts functioning 100% throughout our life span. So this is the knowledge of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda tells us to identify, to be able to listen to all the signs and symptoms our body gives to us. When it says Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, Vayu, that is air, Pit is fire energy, and Kapha is cold water, etc. We have to listen. Our body is giving us the signals each and every time. But then, unfortunately, we've not learned to put ourselves to silence and to listen to our body. That's where we are. And the Vedic philosophy, it leads us to, if we see the cascading events of this year during the pandemic, when it started, when we had the first wave, the second wave throughout the world. It showed the way to us more than ever. Let's follow the principles of the Arya Samaj. Satya ka grahan karna aur asatya ko chhodne mein, accept the truth and reject untruth as far as knowledge is concerned, as far as the precautionary measures are to be taken. Now the vaccine has come, let's accept the vaccine as part of caring for humanity. Let's maintain the guidelines of the health authorities, just to protect ourselves, but to protect also the near and dear ones around us. Let's dispel ignorance and promote knowledge, not get engaged into unnecessary, unfounded news. Let's act according to Dharma. And Dharma tells us to righteous living, and righteous living starts by being truthful. Then the pandemic has showed to us the distress of isolation. Then let's stand guided by being cordial, honest, and just in all our dealings. Priti Purvak Dharmanusar Yatha Yogya Vyavahar. And let's our conduct, our behavior be for the upliftment of Sansar ka upkar karna, Sharirik, Atmik, Samajik Unnati. So let's our conduct lead us to uplift the physical, mental, moral, spiritual, and social standards of all, especially mental. When we're in the lockdowns, and especially when we are confined, like children having to read all their lessons from home rather than in the brick and mortar school, that has taught us also the Vedic concept of teaching, of acquiring knowledge. It's not restricted to the four walls. It's everywhere. It's all throughout life that we have to learn. Let's uphold the common good in which lies our personal interest. And that is the guidance of rule number 9 and 10 of the Arya Samaj, which says, प्रत्येक को अपनी ही उन्नति में संतुष्ट न रहना चाहिए, किंतु सबकी उन्नति में अपनी उन्नति समझनी चाहिए. Then let's respect the fact that personal freedom is not absolute. Freedom is not the right to do anything and at any time. We have to respect the boundaries of freedom. Our freedom stops where the rights of others start. And that is given to us in principle 10 of the Arya Samaj. सब मनुष्यों को सामाजिक सर्वहितकारी नियम पालने में परतंत्र रहना चाहिए और प्रत्येक हितकारी नियम में सब स्वतंत्र रहें. Confinement was really time to be really in. Whatever we've been taught to be in, especially in terms of when we look at the world, when they say to be in, is just to be in the name of fashion. And that is not the real way to be in. Confinement taught us to be more in, that is connect to ourselves, connect the mind, body, and spirit on the path of what Charak Samhita teaches us, on the path of what the yoga philosophy teaches us. Because what we were thinking about, what was in, I-N, before, was the show off. Being out for show off was supposed to be in. But the confinement, which was really difficult time, showed us that our home, which we considered to be a prison, became a safe haven overnight. And the lockdowns, the confinement were intervals to clear the head. That's so much taken for granted are only standard illusions of the normal times. What would be, as we say, the new normal is going to be defined probably within the next 6 months or the 1 year, when the vaccine would have reached quite a large chunk of the world population. The pandemic taught us about the vulnerability of life, in line with what the Yajurveda teaches us. Mantra of chapter 12, mantra 79, Ashvatevo Nishradanam Parne Vasatishkrita. Life is just like the leaves of the peepal tree, the Ficus indica religiosa. When the strong winds are there, the leaves will fall. And worse, if you see the leaves in the early morning with the dewdrops at the tip of it, that can drop any time. And if it doesn't drop, it will dry with the upcoming of the day of the sun. So all will be back to normal. That is yet to be defined. It may be true, it may not be true. We have to adjust, we have to leave. So let's stop the taking for grantedness. And we learn something in life, the beauty of life, that we need very little, as we call the essentials of life. We need very little to not survive, but to live a decent life. And that we have to learn to be content in life with what we have and not be unhappy with what we don't have. That is santosh. Then aparigraha, let's take the things that we need for life. No hoarding, because hoarding increases pain, sorrows, and sufferings for others. And when that comes after expiry date, then we also regret. Then we were taught the other thing, Manurabhava, be humane in all our dealings. We had more time to live with our family. Let's not forget that. Connecting people to people and real human touch. And for those whom we couldn't meet, thanks again the science for having created the virtual media where we all can meet. So there's so many things for which we have to be grateful. Then we have to develop the power of appreciation, of gratitude, kritadzyata. And that will unfold the goodness within us and will render more and more splendor to human life. We also discovered reconnecting to nature by probably tendering to the small plants that we've kept in a pot in our house, or tending to the garden outside, tending to flowers. We rediscovered happiness in the small things like cooking, baking, valuing homemade food, healthy eating, some exercising, welcoming more fruits and vegetables in our plates, and sharing photos and videos for the small things that rendered us happy. Let's value communication as an effective tool to be in touch for positive things with the world. And a reminder, let's not forget what COVID taught us. We are not the masters of this earth. We are only guests of Mother Earth. As we are about to set our footsteps in 2021, Let's respect the light and the beauty of nature. Let's unfold the human values within us and be truly human. And let's realize the prayer of the Rig Veda. Sangachadvam sambadadvam sambo mananasi janatam deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate प्रेम से मिलकर चलो बोलो सभी ज्ञानी बनो पूर्वजों की भांति तुम कर्तव्य के मानी बनो. And the prayer tells us to live in harmony and unity, acquire true knowledge, and live up to that knowledge. Lessons learned and lived will make us the worthy descendants of the sages, which we always say, Hum Rishi Santan hai. Let's align our life on the path of Dharma, on the path of Yam Niyam, and realize true peace through true Shanti in our life. Not just stand to chant the Shanti part, but stand also to realize the prayers of the Shanti part. And we'll be having one session next Saturday. That would be the last for this year. And then we'll have the session again, the first session of 2020 on Saturday, 2nd. So let's try to make it the 2nd to be a day where we can meet in prayers. And if you have the Havan Kund, that's fine. Otherwise, take the Deepak, the Diya, and mix the ghee and samagri and give the ahutis to the Diya drop-wise. Let's join in prayers next week and the week after. I leave the floor now to Dr. Chandura, who will have a brief 5 minutes on the life of Ram Prasad Bismil before we move for the bhajan and Aarti bhajan and Shanti Path. Dr. Chandura, please unmute yourself.
Namaste ji.
Namaste ji.
Dhananjay ji has already contacted and discussed a little bit of Pandit Ram Prasad ji Bismil. Actually, Pandit Ram Prasad Bismil came in contact with Arya Samaj and oh, Salve, please. I'm giving a talk. I am speaking on the video. Okay, that's fine. So he came in contact with Acharya Som and he read Satyad Prakash. So after reading Satyad Prakash, he developed tremendous nationalism and wanted to liberate India from British. And therefore, he participated in a very active organization which wanted to take a revenge against the death of Lala Lajpat Rai in Amritsar Jallianwala Kand. Means in that one, Lala Lajpat Rai was killed by the British. So he wanted to take revenge, and for that, he and some of his friends wanted to have a train of vice viceroy of India to blow, as well as to get some recognition in the field of liberation of India, but there were some traitors who were hidden in his group and informed the British, betrayed him, and he was arrested. During the arrest in nearby garden, he had his pistol with him, but ultimately they were arrested and was hanged on 19th of December 27, and not only he but many others were also hanged with Pandit Ram Prasad Ji Bismil. The problem is everybody should know that Mahatma Gandhi wanted him to be hanged. So also Bharat Singh, so called the great icon of love and ahimsa, wanted him to be killed. Never put a petition to the British. They could have saved him from hanging to life imprisonment. But Nehru and Gandhi were adamant, and because of that, these 5 people were hanged. So that is a sad story, but everybody is to acknowledge that India did not become independent, but because of the revolutionaries, and the credit was taken by Gandhi and Nehru. That is a shame, and because of that, India is still suffering. Even in Kashmir and many parts of India, where Hindus are being killed and butchered, even to this date, and the girls are kidnapped and converted into Islam because of the Nehru and Gandhi. Sorry to say, but that is a fact. I'm very sorry, but this is we have to acknowledge the problems. And he wrote a beautiful song, सरफरोशी की तमन्ना, as well as he wrote about वह शक्ति हमें दो दया निदे कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे. When I was in the 5th grade in India, in our school, this was the daily prayer. So I remember by heart and came to know today that he wrote it. So I would request Dhananjay ji or others to have that poem sing, and I sent that one also. So hopefully everybody can realize how sweet and dedicated poem he wrote. Thank you. I think
Dhananjay ji, please.
Dhananjay ji, please take over. What happened?
Sound.
Huh?
पर सेवा पर उपकार में हम निज जीवन जीवन हो शुद्ध सरल अपना, जीवन हो शुद्ध सरल अपना, शुचि प्रेम सुधा नित बरसावे। शक्ति हमें दो दया निधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे। वह शक्ति हमें दो दया निधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जाए। निज आन बान मर्यादा का प्रभु ध्यान रहे, अभिमान रहे। निज आन बान मर्यादा का प्रभु ध्यान रहे, अभिमान रहे। जिस देश जाति में जन्म लिया, जिस देश जाति में जन्म लिया, बलिदान उसी पर हो जावे। शक्ति हमें दो दया निधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे। पर सेवा पर उपकार में हम निज जीवन सफल बना जावे। पर सेवा पर उपकार में हम निज जीवन सफल बना जावे। वह शक्ति हमें दो दया निधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे। शक्ति हमें दो दया निधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे।
ओम धनंजय जी, आरती भजन।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का। प्रभु दुख बिन से मन का। सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। माता पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी। स्वामी शरण गहूँ मैं किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा, आस करूँ मैं जिसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी। स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता। स्वामी तुम पालन करता, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किस विधि मिलूं दया में, किस विधि मिलूं दया में, ऐसी दो सुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ, करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ, शरण पड़ा मैं तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संग क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
Shanti Path. That would be in the yogic meditative mood, linking each and every word with this element of the universe. Om Dyo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti आप शांति ओषधय शांति वनस्पतय शांति विश्वे देवा शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वं शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेधि ओम शांति शांति शांति. The prayers for universal peace. O God, by your grace, may the celestial regions be peaceful, Antariksha, the space, be peaceful, Prithvi, the earth, be peaceful, Apa, the waters, be peaceful, Oshadhaya, the seasonal crops and medicinal plants, be peaceful, Vanaspataya, the perennial plants and vegetation, be peaceful, Vishwe Devaha, the learned and elderly, be conducive to peace and prosperity. Brahma, may the Supreme Creator, reliever from pains and sorrows, bring us peace. Sarvam, may the universe be peaceful. Shanti Reva, may peace be within, may peace be peaceful. Shanti Sama, may peace be within us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be cosmic, physical, and spiritual peace. May we be free from Adhyatmik, Adibautik, and Adidevik Dukh. Pujan Mantra. Om Annapate Annasya no Deyanamivasya Sushmina Prapradatam Tarisha Urjanno Dehi Dvipade Chatushpade. हे अन्न के स्वामिन प्रभु, आप हमें अन्न दो जो रोगहित और पुष्टि कारक हो। आप अन्नदाता का कल्याण करो, दो पाए और चौपाए पशुओं आदि में तेज धारण करो। O Annadata, you should give of food. Kindly provide us with healthy and energy producing food. Grant serenity to all those who give food in charity. May all living beings be blessed with energy giving food. वैदिक अभिवादन सभी को सादर नमस्ते. Namaste everybody. Thanks for joining. Dhananjay ji for closing please.
Thank you, Acharya ji, for our great services, weekly services today. Thank you, Pandita ji, for joining, and Dr. Sangora's beautiful lecture about the Ram Prasad Bismil ji. He is the inspiration for all of us. He is doing a lot of work in the for propagation of Vedic philosophy. Thank you, Dr. Saab. We will have tomorrow talk on the Upanishads. Tomorrow from 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Do join us if your time permits. And we will have our weekly services again next week. That will be the Christmas Day. After Christmas Day, right? Acharya, it will be after,
the next day.
Yeah, next day after the Christmas. So we will join again next Saturday. See you then. Thank you.